Hey guys, it's Chip Lane. You know, it's still the first of the year. It's February. How do you like saying that word? February. It's February 2020, and this is my 8th podcast, and I don't have anybody to interview today because I wanted to speak to you about something that was kind of on my heart, because it's still the first of the year, and I know a lot of you are, you know, whether you're new or you've been in the business a long time, you may not have anything going on right now, and you're maybe kind of like, what's going on? What do we need to do? So this is an episode to sort of kick you in the butt and hopefully get you some information that maybe can help you throughout the rest of the year. And so I wanted to talk to you about some of the things that kind of been on my mind. I'm just going to start off by saying this. The world doesn't care about you. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, that's the truth. The world doesn't care about you. People may care about you, but in general, nobody cares whether you make it or not as an actor, as a leading actress or a leading actor or a supporting character actor. If you want to make a career in acting, you've got to care. You have got to be literally at least the only person that really cares enough to get out of bed and do the things you need to do. So here's what we're going to talk about today. Doing the things you need to do to overcome whatever it is that's got you in a rut. So how bad do you want it? How badly do you want to be that actor? Because like I said, no one cares. No one's coming to your rescue. You're not going to be discovered in some extras line or some other, obscure commercial for a bank in Atlanta or whatever. Refer to this episode whenever you feel a little low, get a little down. How bad do you want it? What are you willing to sacrifice to make your dreams come true? So no excuses. We all have lives. We all have homes. We all have apartments. We all have husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends. We have financial car payments, whatever. I get it. Been there. But like I said, life doesn't care. This business doesn't care. They don't care about your problems or your excuses, your money you owe to the bank or whatever. Your love life, I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. So I got into this business probably in the early 2000s. I was doing a play in Charleston. An agent asked me after the play was over if I was represented, and that's how I got started. And I took classes. I took more classes. I took even more classes. I drove to Atlanta to take classes. I drove to Charleston. I drove to Florida. I drove everywhere, wherever there was a good class, and I could drive 4 or 5 hours to take it. I took classes. And so, number one, take classes. If you don't take classes, and there's no excuse nowadays, guys, whether they're coming to your town, wherever you are, wherever you're listening to this, whether they're coming to your town or you can drive to a class, but for crying out loud, guys, now you can go on YouTube, you can get the master's class online, you can watch some of those guys, Kevin Spacey, Dustin Hoffman, Helen Mirren, you can even watch Ron Howard and all those people. Those are great nuggets to be found, even though they might be boring as crap for a while, there's always nuggets. So there's no excuse for not taking a class. You've got 24 hours in a day. You sleep for 7-8 hours. So there's 8 hours gone. But then you've got your commute to work, whether you're in a car or in a train or on a bus or whatever. You can listen to a podcast. Keep your mind going. Whether the podcast is on filmmaking or acting, you should be learning something, because even directors, listening to a director or a writer talk about the process of writing a script should give you some insight as an actor. So, bam, if you have a 30-minute to an hour commute, podcast. Listen to an audio book or something that helps get your mind going, something that's educational. Or so podcast, you get so there's 9 hours. So then you got the 30-minute to an hour commute back. Another podcast, something. Listen to something. Don't just listen to the radio. When you get home, read a script. Read a script. Read a book that's about writing a script. Read something. Read a Meisner book. Read a Stanislavski book. Just something. Read something. You spend time with your family. Spend time with your dog, but don't let the first thing you do is click on the television and turn on Netflix or something. What else are we going to do? We're going to work out, guys. You're going to start today. It's February. It's February. We're going to start working out today. And you don't have to go to a gym. You don't have to pay $20 a month to Planet Fitness or $10 a month, whatever it is. There's free stuff on YouTube. There's free stuff on Comcast. There's free stuff, I'm sure, on other digital platforms. So yes, you can turn on TV for that. But you don't have to go to a gym. You can just open up YouTube and type in the word kickboxing or Pilates or yoga or whatever it is you want to do. Go get it out of your closet and get your rusty old jump rope out. Do it for 30 minutes. So at least do some 30 minutes of some sort of cardiovascular workout. Why? Why am I telling you to work out? Because your body is your instrument. It's not only just a temple of God, but it's your working instrument. It is the thing that's going to make you money. And if you're not healthy, you can't make money. So, bam. You got to make money if it's an actor. You can't just say, oh, I'm just an artist. No. If you want to make this your living, start with your body. If you want to be the fat, goofy guy in the commercials or the television show or whatever, you want to be the next Jonah Hill, then yeah, you can still eat a lot, but you can still be healthy while you're doing it. You don't have to be unhealthy, but working out is going to open up your brain. It's going to get your blood flowing. So whether you're doing 100 sit-ups a day, there's a challenge for you for a month, or doing, jumping jacks for 30 minutes, or whatever it is, taking your dog for a brisk walk, not a meandering walk around the block, but a brisk walk. 30 minutes a day, an hour a day, get your body tuned, get it working. Start today. You have to care. You have to care. If you don't care, your agent's not going to care. Or if you don't have an agent, it's going to be even tougher to get an agent if you don't care. You've got to care about your body. You've got to care about your instrument. You've got to care about the next level. Stay working, and it starts with your body. So, guys, I've been in this business, like I said, since the early 2000s, and I know we all have to start somewhere. If you're not working and you've been in the business a long time and you haven't been sort of, discovered, if you will, it's just could be just right around the corner. When you're not reading, when you're not watching an online class or not listening to a podcast on your way to or from work, there is YouTube. YouTube's a great resource. And a lot of times I like to watch the actors on The Hollywood Reporter. You can Google that. You can YouTube Google that, whatever. And you can listen to those actors and actresses talk about things that they do. There's a great podcast I listen to every day when I'm working out. And I do work out every day, guys, 5 days a week. Indie Film Hustle. And he's a filmmaker, but he talks to a lot of other filmmakers. It's inspiring to me to listen to them, not just from a writing standpoint, but from a filmmaking standpoint. As an actor, I glean things from those podcasts too. So whether it's a podcast, whether it's watching the actors, Hollywood Reporter on the actors or the directors, whether it's reading a script, you have to be doing something in those 24 hours besides sleeping. And I know you're working, or whether you sit behind a desk or wait tables or whatever it is you do, drive an Uber. If you sit behind a desk and you have some free time at lunch, there's another 30 minutes to an hour you can be working on something. Kurt Baltz, who I hope to get on this podcast one day, told me a long time ago when I was taking one of his classes, and you can IMDb Kurt Baltz because he was the cop who got the ear cut off in Reservoir Dogs. He's a friend of mine. And anyway, so he said, write something for yourself. Now, I took that to heart because I wanted to be a writer anyway. But since I didn't live in L.A., I didn't plan to live in L.A., I started writing, and I learned how to write. And that is a great piece of advice I'll never forget. So you take that piece of advice via me from Kirk Baltz. Write something for yourself, film it, and add it to your demo reel. You don't have to have a whole crew. You can have an iPhone. You can buy a $150 lens for your iPhone that from moment.com. Look them up. And you can put an anamorphic lens. You can put a telephoto lens. They have 4 or 5, 6 different lenses you can buy, and bam, your iPhone is now or your Android is now a cinematic camera. They have free software you can download to edit, or there's free stuff on your computer probably you can edit. But do something, guys. Go do I did a student film this past weekend. I researched the guy. They looked me up. They asked me to audition for the film. Yes, I got paid because I'm worth some time and worth some money. But they were great. I looked them up, did my research, made sure they were on the up and up. But I did a student film. I wanted to keep working. I want to keep moving as an actor. There's no harm in doing a student film. There's no harm in doing a free student film too if you're new and you don't have a lot on your resume. You know, my first agent, Paula McLean, said I live in Savannah. I have Savannah College of Art and Design here. They have a huge film department, and I started doing a lot of student films. I learned my lessons on what films not to do, what to look for, as far as students are concerned, what their ethics, the work ethics are, and how they treat their actors. There's film schools all over now, and if you're not getting a reel because you don't have, you don't take the time on the weekends to go do a student film, then that's your fault. Don't complain. Like I said at the beginning, no one cares except you. And if you don't care, then get out of the business. Stay out, because the rest of us are trying to work hard. The person that's getting the job, the one you want to audition for, is the one that's working constantly to do something. Next, are your headshots updated? Do you still look the same? If you don't, get new headshots. If you live in Savannah, call us. We'll take your headshots. But get your headshot updated. If you've cut your hair, if you've lost some pounds or gained some pounds, heaven's sakes, get new headshots. Kids should be getting their headshots done probably every 6 months to a year because they change so quickly. Adults, sometimes they look the same for a while. But then after you get your new headshots, you have to upload them to IMDb. You have to change them over in Actors Access or casting networks. And I don't know if 800 Casting is any good anymore. I have kind of stayed off of that one, but I do look at Actors Access a lot. And if you're not a member, you need to be a member, because a lot of people are casting. I have cast off Actors Access before. Most everybody is using Actors Access now, or casting networks. I think that's Fox. But you have to update those guys. Stay on IMDb. Facebook. Yeah, I know. Facebook. It's kind of a double-edged sword. But there are lots of acting resource groups there. There's like the New Commercials. There's New Commercials. We have a group for that. Yeah, they have a group. There's tons of actors groups. Whether you're in Western North Carolina, I think there's the Western North Carolina Actors Resource page or something like that. There's 4 or 5 or 6 of them in Atlanta. I'm positive of it. I know of one in Jacksonville. I know of one in Charlotte. And there's one that has like everybody, and there's IMDb pages where they like each other's IMDb page and stuff. So there's all sorts of resources. There's casting on Facebook. So, yeah, a lot of people post some junk. You have to weed through it. But if you stay on those things and just try to filter through, there's a couple. I do one here in Savannah called Savannah Actors Group. So I know, and I try to keep crap off there. I moderate it pretty strictly. But, the ones that aren't moderated strictly, you can still find some things on there. Type in the word casting. Type in the word acting. Type in the word casting director. Type in the word film. You have to take care of yourself. What else can we talk about? Reading. Yes, we can go back to reading. Let's talk a little bit more about reading. Reading scripts. Okay, I'm going to a quick little lesson here. A new actor or a veteran actor, read scripts. If you don't know how to read scripts, start with the very top. I read or heard Anthony Hopkins reads every script he gets 3 or 4 times before he really starts even thinking about the character. So read a script. I don't care if it's a short script or a feature script. But start at the top. Interior, hallway, day. Read it all. Read every last bit of action line. Absorb it, because those are lessons. I would go out and try to find a script to a movie that you may like. Maybe some of the best scripts that I've ever written are scripts like The Fugitive is one of the best scripts there's another Harrison Ford film that was The Witness, I think, the one where he goes into an Amish community hideout from his policemen that are chasing him. A Few Good Men, great script. Read it today. Download it. It's free. There's just type in free script sites on Google, and you'll find it. I think Scriptorama is one of them. Indie Film Hustle. Go to indiefilmhustle.com. Look up. There's scripts you can find on his site too. His name's Alex Ferrari. Read. Start from the top. Page a day, 2 pages a day, 3 pages, as many pages a day you can. Read scripts. Got to read to learn. Got to open your mind, open your eyes to learn. You have to be learning. What else? What town do you live in? All right. There are probably 2 or 3 other actors in your town, whatever town you live in. who probably in the same boat you are in, who don't know what to do right now. Find them. You may know them. Just reach out to some of your friends that you maybe taken. One of your friends you've taken an acting class with. Get together with them. Get a script. Read it together. Just take whatever script it is. If it's Few Good Men or something you've written or something you've gotten from a local college. There are people on Facebook. There are people on Craigslist. Find them. Get together with them. Have lunch with them. Have dinner with them. Read scripts together. Invite them over to your house. Whatever. But have a little group. Create a 3-person, 4-person, 5-person group. Read the scripts. Do the lines. Maybe have somebody critique you. Maybe one person can play the director and 2 people can play the 2 actors, and you just go back and forth. And you critique each other. You learn from each other. But get together with people. It's not hard. They are out there, and they probably want the same things you do. But you have to find them. I'm fortunate enough to work with someone who is, we get auditions and we critique the crap out of each other when we're in our studio when we do auditions, and we don't take it lightly. Again, I'm going to say this one more time, maybe 5 more times, but you have to care because nobody else does. Okay? Your mom and your dad might, your husband, your wife, whatever, your boyfriend, girlfriend, they might care, but not nearly as much as you need to care. Yeah, you can't get better at your craft unless you practice. You can go in front of the mirror every night, take a script, say the lines to yourself in the mirror, watch your facial expressions. We call them tics. So if you have the same tick every time, if you're lifting your eyebrow every time you say a line, why are you doing that? Watch yourself. If you're squinting your eyes or doing something different with your mouth or whatever, watch yourself in the mirror. Find out your tics and try to get rid of them. You're not working, so you've got to be doing something. We had a class one time, and we had, well, several times, but we had an exercise where we put everybody in a room full of mirrors, and you couldn't see anybody else, but you could see, all you could see is yourself, and we had them just say a line and watch how they said it, and they just repeated it over and over again, and then you had to watch how everything that about your face, and you wrote it down. What'd you see? You know what else you can do? Go outside, take a bottle, smash it on the ground. Why did I just say that? Well, how did it make you feel? How did it make you feel when I just said that? Okay, write down how you felt. Now, when you go and smash that bottle, write down how it felt when you smashed it. Maybe have someone smash another bottle. Write down how that made you feel when they smashed a bottle. What did they do? Did they rear back and smash it? Did they jump and like hammer it down real? How did they make it explode off the ground? Write it down. That's a character analysis right there. You're doing a case study. That's an acting lesson. Free. You can have it. Free. Just for being on this podcast today. You're welcome. Those are things you can do, okay, to tune your instrument, your body. So I'm getting close to wrapping it up here, guys, but I again, no excuses. This is tough love. I get it. But you're responsible. You're responsible for making your dreams come true. Okay? You are responsible. If your dream is to be in Hollywood working steadily as a character actor or a leading man, leading woman, then you have to make your dreams come true by doing the work. Last but not least, call your agent. Ask them for 5 minutes of their day. Text them, email them, saying, I got to call you. I just need to talk for 5 minutes. It may turn into a 10-minute conversation. Tell them. Say, I'm in a rut. I'm not getting there. I'm not getting the auditions I need. Are you sending me out? If you're not sending me out, why aren't you sending me out? What do I need to do? Okay? Ask them for some tough love. Ask them for some critiques, some constructive criticism. If you're not calling them, if you're not asking them, if you're not working and you're not calling them and asking them, okay, then they don't care. They don't care enough because you're not the actor who's going to get them to care. Okay? You have to care. You have to be the one responsible for your dreams. I'm going to say it again. But call your agent. If they've taken you into their stable, then they obviously saw something in you. Okay? If you don't have an agent, then why aren't you harassing? No, I wouldn't say harassing. Why aren't you trying to get an agent? I mean, seriously, trying every 3 months. If they're doing it on a 4 times a year scale kind of thing, a 4 times a year enrollment type deal, then every 3 or 4 months you need to email them, new headshot, a clip of something you've done, You know, that little iPhone video that you made that I told you to make. Here's something else I did, okay? Always stay in touch. Ask them. Ask them the questions, the tough questions. Make them answer you. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I want you to be successful. I want you to work hard. I want you to get what you feel like God is leading you to do. If this is what the business that God has led you to be in, then I want you to be successful. But if you're not doing the work, there is someone right behind you who is doing the work. So stop making it a dream. Stop dreaming about it and make it happen. Go get them. You can find me at firstcityfilms.com. You can look me up on IMDb to see if I'm full of crap or not. My partner Angelique and I just finished another script this past week, and I'm hopefully going to be shooting it soon. So stay tuned for that. But we are working. We're doing the work. We're continuing to try and learn, always. Watch our film, our first feature film, Untouched. It's on Amazon Prime. It's free. If you want to watch it with a couple of commercials, it's on Tubi.tv or .com, Tubi. It's on Google Play. It's on YouTube. It's on iTunes. Look it up on iTunes. But please, whatever you do, whenever you watch it, and we hope you do watch it, please rate it. I don't care if you hate it or not. If you think I'm a terrible actor way back then, fine. Say it. But please rate it and give a review. We appreciate it. Thanks for listening today, guys. Come back to this episode if you want some more tough love, if you want another kick in the pants. Hopefully this was a good, swift kick in the butt. It's still early in the year. There's still time for you to really make things happen the rest of the year. But you have to do it. Take care.
Me, I know who I am.